So I actually just graduated in April, so I was here for the program and I finished in April. And I did the block program for 3 years. I transferred from another university. And the block program actually worked really well for me because I, like many other students, could study a subject in depth and not worry about juggling with 5 or 6 other disciplines or subjects at the same time. The difference I found here was that during one block I could learn much more and learn with other people who were equally as interested as I was in learning. So that was the biggest difference for me, is that you're not the only one in a group of 300 trying to learn and to be the nerdy person trying to learn more, but you have a group of 22 students who want to collaborate and want to work with you, and that's definitely much more fulfilling. I never had a group project in my other university. The way it worked was I had an exam at the end of the semester and that was worth 50%, and then I had one essay and that was worth 50% per semester. At Quest, in a block, I'll probably write 4 or 5 essays. Some classes I would write an essay every other day. And because you have a lot of projects, so the percentage of your evaluation is distributed in different projects and participation grades, I found that you had to collaborate with other people to achieve something, and that something is not necessarily a grade, but the satisfaction of learning and learning with other people. So I found that there was much less competition. In my other university, you know, if you ever talked about the end of the semester, you just ask how much did you get, or, you know, did your exam go well, because you want to have more than 90% or something. Whereas here, I rarely worried about grades. I worry personally because I'm just that way, but I was never asked what my grade was. I never asked any of my classmates what their grades were, because that was always very irrelevant. It was definitely fun to learn. It was probably, well, certainly the best program I could have studied with. I think you touch on something really important, because I think balance is really important, and it is the most difficult part of being in the block system for sure, because you get so into whatever you're studying that it's hard to remember that you need to take care of yourself, or it can be so challenging and so demanding that you just don't have time to relax or to sleep, but that also depends on your personal standards. So I know some people who will say, okay, I've worked for 7 hours today, I'm done, whether that means that I've finished my project or not. And I worked 2 part-time jobs and went to school, and so I often lost my mind. But if, you know, people don't have that situation and are not in that context, I would strongly advise them since the beginning to plan and think of themselves first, more so than the academics for the sake of academics. It's very fun to learn. It's an amazing experience to be at Quest, and, you know, the block program at Quest. But if you're not well inside yourself, then you can't really give anything to either yourself or your professor. So I worked on the weekends and I worked after school. My first year I worked on campus after my initial 6 months of staying in Canada, because I'm an international student. And then after that, and after my first summer here, I got a job out off campus, and I would bike or take the bus after school and work, and ask my roommates or my classmates to meet me at 8 or 7, and they were always very understanding, and, you know, they themselves wanted to go for a run or to just space out for a little bit, so it always worked out that well. It took a lot of time management for sure, and a lot of planning to always be on top of my game, but yeah, I guess I did a good job.
Okay, so if you have to give an advice, or 2 or 3, to fellow students who's gonna go in the block system pretty soon, what would it be?
Definitely to not let academics be more than you. So I can't stress this enough, but anyone's, and especially a student's well-being is very important. So the block system is rigorous for sure, it's challenging, and it's very satisfying to learn. You can keep learning and learning, and but whatever the goal is, whatever the demand is, you can't go much further if you don't take care of this first. So play and take breaks, and go have coffee with your friends when you have time. Just balance is very important. So that would be the advice that I would give to people.